This is the City of Waupaca, third Tuesday of the month, City Council meeting.
Okay, welcome everybody to our regular scheduled City Council meeting. Tonight is Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, and it's 6:02 p.m. And I'll call this meeting to order by beginning with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone please rise. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And just a reminder to everyone, please either turn off your cell phones or put them on silent. And then I'll have Sandy read the clerk's open meeting statement for us.
This meeting and all meetings of the Common Council are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the media in accordance with Wisconsin state statutes so that citizens may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting.
And would you also take roll?
Brian Smith,
Here.
Colin Dykstra,
Here.
Lori Chestnut,
Here.
Paul Hagan,
Here.
Henry Veliker,
Here.
Scott Perchatsky,
Here.
Dave Peterson is absent, Paul Mayo,
Here.
Dimitri Martin,
Here.
Mary Fair is absent, and Eric Olson.
Here.
8 present, we have a quorum.
All right, thanks, Sandy. And do you want to start by introducing yourself as
Yep.
staff member?
I'm Sandy Stibbs, the city clerk.
Aaron Jensen, City Administrator.
Kathy Kaza, Finance Director.
Sue Abrahamson, Interim Library Director.
Jared Raku, Community and Economic Development Director.
Stephanie Reif, Assistant Finance Director.
Justin Behrens, Director of Public Works.
Brian Hozell, Chief of Police. And Josh Warner is running the camera behind us. Someplace.
Somewhere. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourself. You have a consent agenda. Sandy, you said you have one addition to that?
Yes, under number 5, consent agenda, letter D, the list of bills was uploaded to the city website.
All right. Is there anything on here that city council members would like to see moved to the regular agenda where you would, and it would be individual items that you would like to discuss and vote on individually? Anybody that would like to see anything changed or moved? If not, we'd be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda with that one addition.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Chestnut, second by Martin, that we approve the consent agenda with the addition. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, say no. Motion carried. Regular agenda, nothing additional. So we'd just be looking for a motion to approve that agenda so we can get moving.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Olson, second by Chestnut, that we approve the regular agenda as printed. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, say no. Motion carried. Next up is public input. This is for non-agenda items. If there's anybody that would like to speak to the council and staff about a non-agenda item, please step up to the podium, give your name and address for the record, and limit that discussion to 3 minutes or less. Speaking of the podium, Aaron, do you want to just touch on that under announcements here?
Sure. So you guys can see that we have, it says City of Waupaca You Want. It's a T-Mobile sticker. It's for the hometown grant that we actually had a little event today. Handed over a giant size check, which is always fun. And this is for the front lawn project at right out here at City Hall. Just a quick little background. In the capital process, City Council approved, in our plan, we had $100,000 set aside for that project. 50,000 of that was to be fundraised for or getting grants, and 50,000 was funded through GO bonds. And we are able to do those extra amenities because of that 50,000 that did come in through that grant. So a ton of credit to Greg Groman again, and he was the one that put that grant application together. And we look forward to talking about those amenities, and we'll bring forward the details of those plans to council sometime soon.
Thanks, sir. All right, let's go to, I know Marcy Reynolds and Barb Latke are both here to speak under the community section. Are we talking arts or are we talking?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to.
Well, are we talking about the Arts and Culture Network? Aaron, you start us off.
So this is an agenda item.
Yeah, so actually,
This would be normally the night that we have representatives come from.
right, and that's what I thought you guys were here
And I
for.
can say that it was the city, it was the Waupaca Chamber and Visitors Month to come, but I told them that I would say thank you for them because they've had quite a week with the Strawberry Fest, and so.
All right, so we do have an agenda item later on, so
Yes,
if you want
yeah.
to hang in there,
All right.
right?
Yeah, and I can give a little explanation.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right, let's move on then. We have unfinished business. We have an ordinance number 13-2022. This is an ordinance amending 17.102 zoning districts map as allowed under 17.7. And this is the second reading. Jarrett, you want to take this?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Mayor. So this ordinance 1322 starts on page 61 of your packet. Previously at the prior to this council meeting, we did have the first reading. So this request is for H.H. Hinder Brewery, which currently resides on parcel, I believe, 804 Churchill Street. They have the brewery up and running. So they did purchase the adjacent parcel to the south, the adjacent parcel to the west, and then also an adjacent parcel south of Columbia Street. So right now we are looking at the three parcels to the north of Columbia Street, which would be 804 and 810 Churchill Street and 813 10th Street. They are looking to combine these lots into a singular parcel and rezone that newly created parcel to B3 General Commercial District. So two of the parcels currently are zoned B1, which is our neighborhood business, and one parcel is zoned R1. Once combined, they are looking to come forward with a conditional use site plan. The proposal at this time is to do an event space. The house on the R1 district would be raised and used as green space. And then that larger building on 810 Churchill Street would be utilized as the event space. They would continue running the brewery out of their current building they're running it out of. So again, coming forward in the future, if this is approved and the lot combination is approved, which that is approved internally, and there were no issues noted, they would be coming forward in the future for conditional use for items like a microbrewery, commercial entertainment, for the event space, in that B3 zoning district. So there are, of course, a few conditions. Most of them are pretty standard. There is the condition that the residential structure should be raised, as you know, a residence will no longer be an allowable use on the new zoning and new combined parcel. And then just contingent on this, the submitted CSM that's also approved. So staff does recommend approval. Plan Commission recommended approval as well. There was some public input at the Plan Commission level. Some of it was for, some of it was against, and there was actually one neutral comment that stated they were for it. They just wanted to know a little more. But as mentioned to them, that would come forward in the conditional use and site plan. This is merely just the zoning change at this point.
Right. Thank you, Jared, for that explanation. Anybody have any questions? Again, this is the second reading, so we would hope that council would approve this ordinance tonight.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mayo, second by Hagan, that we approve ordinance number 13-2022. Any further discussion? Sandy will call the roll.
Lori Chestnut,
Aye.
Paul Hagan,
Aye.
Henry Veliker,
Aye.
Scott Perchatsky,
Aye.
Paul Mayo.
Aye.
Okay, Dimitri Martin,
Aye.
Mary Fair's gone, Eric Olson,
Aye.
and Colin Dykstra.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
All right. Next up, then, under new business, we have resolution number 1517, which has to do with sidewalk improvements and levying a special assessment. And that goes to Justin.
Thank you, Mayor. Can be seen the resolutions on page 73 of the packet. So the last council was the preliminary resolution, and then we had the public hearing. And this has to deal with the sidewalk assessments, or replacing sidewalks in the associated assessments that go along with that. This year, that is along mainly High Street, some on Harrison Street. The sidewalks that are being replaced are a 50-50 split between the city and the adjacent resident that benefits from that improvement. The on 74 shows the properties, the parcel numbers, the addresses, and then the estimated amount. We take a conservative approach and estimate, I guess, more than we think what we're going to do. At the end of the project, we measure what we actually do, and then those go through the clerk's office, and those are applied depending on the amount and what the owner would like to do. Of course, they can pay it off immediately, or depending on how much can be put on their tax bill and paid off over up to 8 years. The variation of the assessment from neighbor to neighbor was brought up, and that is because we target the slabs that are, or the sidewalk, the slabs what are in bad condition, whether it's cracked or tipped, or just doesn't meet ADA requirements, so those get precedence over the slabs that are in good condition. So that's the variation that we see there. So this comes in effect upon approval tonight.
All right. Anybody have any questions? I know we did discuss this at the last meeting. We had an open discussion. Scott, go ahead.
On the corners, Justin, where you have an ADA access, is that assessed to any homeowners adjacent, or is that something the city absorbs?
No, so the curb ramps, that's what we
Yeah.
call, those are the openings, and they have typically a yellow delineator pad or
That's what I'm talking about.
a rust color, natural patina. No, that is, city absorbs that cost.
Thank you.
Thanks. Colin, you had something?
No.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
Okay,
sir.
I thought I saw you. Okay. Anybody else? All right, let's look for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Chestnut, second by Martin, that we approve resolution number 1517. This is a final resolution authorizing sidewalk improvements and levying special assessments against benefit property. Any further discussion? All in favor? Oh, sorry. Sandy will call a roll.
Dimitri Martin,
Aye.
Henry Veliker,
Aye.
Eric Olson,
Aye.
Lori Chestnut,
Aye.
Paul Hagan,
Aye.
Scott Perchatsky,
Aye.
Colin Dykstra,
Aye.
and Paul Mayo.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Thank you, Justin. Next, you're still up, though. We have the Mount Tom standpipe for the exterior overcoat up at Mount Tom.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So that starts with my memo on page 76 of the packet. I have quite a bit of information on this one that's included behind the memo. Well, I guess I need to kind of start from the beginning. So we have 3 water towers in the city. They're routinely cleaned and inspected. Over the years, those inspections bring up recommendations for maintenance and corrections. The standpipe, which a picture of it that is shown on page 80, holds 750 gallons of water when it's full. That one has come up as of late, needing the coatings on it or the paint redone. So based on all those recommendations, we put together a budget where we put in like a worst case scenario, which includes stripping down all the existing paint down to bare metal, cleaning, and then even some cathodic protection, upgrading those systems, and starting basically fresh and new. So we budgeted $150,000, preparing for the worst case scenario. However, we don't need that anymore. We feel we don't need that. So as the calendar turned, we started working on this for this year, and we talked with a coating expert from Tnemic Paint. They're the ones that provide the industrial paint that covers all of our water towers and a number of our tanks at the wastewater treatment plant. Got a third-party recommendation from that company, which advised us that we do not have to fully strip it down, but instead just clean it and then just put an overcoat. So basically just a brand new color of blue over the top of what we already have. And that'll last us a minimum of 10 years. And the other benefit of that is there's coatings on the inside of the tank. And what that will do is it lines up the lifespan, the expected lifespan of both the exterior and the interior from 10 years from today. So 10 years from now, we'll be looking at this again, probably with a larger project, but then assuming it's a much more efficient way to get it done. So with all that in mind, we move forward with an RFP. We put it out there on the streets. We received 7 total bids back, which is a very good number. But the thing that was a little alarming was the low bid, which significantly lower from the second low. So there was 2 bids submitted from DCS Tank Lining. One noted an alternate, which meant they suggested a different type of coatings, which is a different price. So we just looked at those 2 being like the low, depending on this company, and then the second low being Viking Painting, as you can see, is the third one on that table there. So we needed to look into this and see what was going on. Attached is a number of emails that have gone back and forth between myself and the owner of DCS Tanking. He was never made available by phone. We asked for a personal visit. That email somehow went to spam for some reason, could not provide any references, and then basically just kind of stopped communication altogether. So, I mean, we don't feel comfortable going with this low bid. It's exceptionally low. We feel that if we did, we would be hiring a company that would either give us a poor product or just not have the quality that we need, or the type of business that is probably not fully insured would leave us to liability. So that is the basis for why I'm not recommending the low bidder on this project. Instead, I'm going with the second low, which is Viking Painting LLC, which number is shown on there at $64,400. This is a large company. They are nationwide. They are known by AWWA, American Water Works Association, and APWA, American Public Works Association. So those are all good things to know, that the major organizations that support us know this company, and then also do not know who DCS is. So I guess I'll open it up to questions. There's a lot of information in there. But again, just looking for action to approve going into contract with Viking Painting LLC.
Do you have any questions? Scott, go ahead.
Justin, I read the emails there, and kind of confusing with DCS, but they mentioned, reference in one of their emails, that they do sub work for Viking and may end up doing that tower. Have you substantiated that or not?
Well, yeah, so I talked to the representative at Viking, and he didn't know who this guy was.
Okay. So
he said, I highly doubt we'll hire them, and the representative from Viking says we have our own painting crews. I'll also note, he also indicated he worked at the Waupaca water tower, and I talked to the city administrator there, and he didn't really know him either.
Okay, thank you.
Henry, you had a question?
Well, a project of this size, did they have to file was it pre-bid qualifications or anything, or not?
No, we did not.
Meet our
We didn't
threshold
do we didn't do a pre-bid on this one.
Okay. Because we could have probably caught them earlier if they didn't provide proper insurance information and that kind of stuff.
Right. We've done that on some projects, not on all of them. It makes you think that maybe it should be more.
Well, I think it's a dollar amount that probably drives that a lot too.
Right.
It was big enough.
Anybody else have any questions? Go ahead, Colin.
Did this lowest cost people have a bid bond associated with their bid?
They did not. The other
Okay.
companies did provide one.
So, all right, thank you.
Yep.
So just talking up here, thinking that standpipe is going to be plain looking. So we thought maybe we should put a picture on that. And I think we have a perfect one on page 29 of our packet. That would fit perfectly.
Oh, I thought it was the corn.
I love that.
The corn cob.
That was.
You should see Gaffney, South Carolina. They've got a peach. It looks like a big butt when you come up.
There's one in Nebraska that looks like a corn cob. We saw that on the pictures.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to digress that far. But all right, so Justin and Public Works and staff are all looking for an approval of this contract with Viking Painting.
Mayor, would it be appropriate to vote to not even recognize that low bid? They're disqualified. I don't know. I didn't look in our procurement. Sometimes
Justin, have you
done that before?
I don't know, Henry. Have we done that?
You should know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I think sometimes we've done that, but I don't know. I think you've documented pretty well why we shouldn't accept it.
I know there's been some other actions at this floor to go with in the contract for not a low, but I don't think I recall having wording in there saying to disqualify a certain bidder.
And we never said that we were going to take the lowest.
Laura,
bid
I don't
either.
think our ordinance requires us to take the low. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Right.
We would be
It's
taking.
not a bad. If we thought that this guy was going to be a problem, we might. Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
We would be taking the lowest qualified bid, and that would not. The other one is not qualified.
There you go.
There. Good.
That's
good
how you
call,
do the
Paul.
motion.
All right. So can I go back? Does anybody want to make a motion to approve?
I would make that motion.
Motion by Hagan,
Second.
second by Chestnut, that we enter into a contract with Viking Painting LLC of La Vista, New England, for Nebraska. Sorry, Jesus. Hope my granddaughter's not watching me. For the Mount Tom Standpipe Exterior Overcoat Project for an amount not to exceed $64,400, and it's coming out of our water revenue bonds. Any further discussion? Sandy will call the roll.
Paul Hagan,
Aye.
Scott Perchatsky,
Aye.
Paul Mayo,
Aye.
Eric Olson,
Aye.
Colin Dykstra,
Aye.
Lori Chestnut,
Aye.
Henry Velliker,
Aye.
and Dimitri Martin.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
All right. Thank you. Justin, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have an appointment to the Waupaca Area Arts and Cultural Network, and I'm going to turn it over to Aaron first, and then I'll turn it over to you, Paul.
All right, thank you, Mayor Smith, and Marcy and Barb, thanks for coming. Just a little explanation on this, I'll keep it brief. As we've worked with the Waupaca Area Arts and Culture Network through strategic planning processes and updating strategic planning processes, through those meetings, we've had conversations about how do they become a little more formal feeling. We've had conversations around an actual committee, that's a city committee, there are pros and cons to that. I think ultimately we felt like that was going to, usually it's managed by a staff member. There's meetings, there's extra minutes, there's all of that. And it kind of handcuffs in some ways the way that you operate now and changes the dynamic of that. So we looked at kind of our appointments and how that looks, and very similar to the WAHA. You know, we have a council rep that's on the WAHA board. We're looking to appoint a council rep to the Waupaca Area Arts and Culture Network. And I think that just keeps communication strong, and there are good reasons for that. A couple examples are all the murals, the 3D mini mural project that actually takes sign permits, which maybe general people wouldn't think of, but the way that ordinance reads, that's kind of how it has to go. There was crosswalks that were painted. So a lot of the projects that are worked on and a lot of the events, there's a lot of back and forth between the city and the network. And we thought that this would be a good way to legitimize and have that strong line of communication by having a council rep on there. But if I missed something, guys, feel free to fill in.
Okay, with that explanation, this is an appointment, so I'll turn it over to Council President Mayo.
Thanks, Mayor. The mayor would like to appoint Henry Veliker as council representative to the Waupaca Area Arts and Cultural Network. After hearing the mayor's appointment, I need a motion and a second to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Olson, second by Martin, to approve the mayor's appointment of Henry Veliker as council representative to the Waupaca Area Arts and Cultural Network. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Back to you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Henry, yes, go ahead, Colin.
Mr. Mayor, on that subject, as the council rep for WAHA, which Aaron Jensen mentioned a minute ago, I noticed when I was appointed that in their creative documents, the documents that created WAHA, it spells out exactly what my duties are as their council representative. And so if you guys do not have that at this time, I would suggest that you do so to assist Mr. Veliker in his role so we all know what's going on. I found it helpful for me, and I think that Mr. Veliker would also find it helpful for him.
Would you be willing to share that with us as a template?
Yeah, it's a public document. I can get it for you.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Maybe
Okay.
you could just email it to
I will.
Penny or Barb.
Yes, and thanks for the suggestion, and I just want to say thank you, everybody, for all your work on the summits and all the support.
Thank you.
All right. Just along with that real quick, you know, we had the ribbon cutting on Saturday and we had an awesome turnout, you know, from council members and staff members and the public. It was nice, and we really showed off our downtown area, you know, with the amount of people that were in town, with the farmers market and the Strawberry Fest, and it was really cool to see. I spent, you know, a few hours downtown just walking the street and just being so proud of what we've done down here. So pat yourselves on the back, too, council members. You had a lot to do with that, obviously.
A nice job on the ordering the weather that we had too.
Right.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good, didn't it? All right, let's go to license report number 1582. This is just Class B licenses and a Class C wine license, too. We just need a motion to approve these.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Chestnut, second by Hagan, that we approve license report 1582. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, say no. Motion carried. Next one is, as always, I explain this, but the next one is 1583, which is operator license or bartender's license. You have a list there. Again, we're just looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Veliker, second by Martin, that we approve license report number 1583. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, say no. Motion carried. All right, and before we adjourn, pretty quick meeting here, just a couple things. Remember that we are not having a council meeting on July 5th, so have a great holiday weekend and a couple weeks, everybody. So our next city council meeting will be July 19th, subject to call. We don't plan on doing anything before the 19th with the council, though. We do have city planning commission meetings. We are canceling the one on the 6th, but we are having one, help me out, Jared.
On the 18th, the Monday before our council meeting.
Yeah, okay. So on the 18th at 4 o'clock, that city planning commission meeting is, because there's a CDA meeting that same night, so we needed to move that up. Anybody else that has any meetings or anything that you want to talk about?
Just a reminder, staff and elected official appreciation luncheon tomorrow at Swan Park at noon. So would love to see anyone who can make it.
Yeah, and we did reduce the heat, Eric, speaking. The plan is for tomorrow, so should be good. If you haven't been out to Swan Park, obviously, you'll see some changes with the trees cut down, getting ready for the splash pad, but the last 3 weeks, speaking of getting compliments, and we've been getting these for years, but the last 3 weeks, we've had 2 Little League tournaments and a softball tournament, and we have some Waupaca teams, but we have a lot of out-of-town teams, and I'll tell you, nobody can top what we have out there. They just love coming here because of the facility, but also how well it's run too. So again, council, and this is some current council members and past council members, but we continue to put money into that, and it's a great facility, and it's actually a great thing for the community too. These people come to town and they spend a lot of money in our community too. So, you want to say something, Scott?
I'm just going to give a shout out. I know Andrew's not with us anymore, but to any of the rec department personnel, I know they get involved in that heavily and are out there during the weekends trying to help run those tournaments. And it's a very big shout out and thank you to them because they're taking time out of their summer, but being part of their job, they do a great job.
Yeah, and so thank you. That reminds me too, Aaron, maybe you could just touch on how we're handling the Parks and Rec Department and what the timetable is for proceeding forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a number of applications, I think over 10 now, applications that have come in a pretty short period of time. Some quality applications. We look forward to having interviews. We're having our first round next Monday morning. We're bringing in 4 candidates, and we'll see what happens from there. We may have second round interviews Thursday the 30th, and we hope to potentially have an announcement shortly after that. So we'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Aaron. Did I miss anything? Go ahead, Sue.
Yeah, when's your board meeting again?
You need
Okay.
Oh, you gonna do it, Aaron or Sue? Sue, you need
Sue,
a
do you want to,
microphone
or
if you're
would you
gonna-
like me to? Okay. So, I was also had the privilege to be on the hiring committee for the library director, and again, there was 3 candidates, quality candidates, and the top candidate accepted a conditional offer, and he will be coming to the library board meeting to get officially approved, and that individual has years of experience as a director in a library in Illinois. He's also from Waupaca originally, and the first librarian ever here was
His great aunt was the very first librarian of Waupaca.
Just a little fun fact.
And he follows the pattern that every librarian who's ever been a director of the Waupaca Library, his last name has begun with B.
Yes.
Bailey, Brooks, Brown, Burrington, and now Bailey again. So
yeah.
Did you know that when you guys were
No
interviewing
clue.
people? Because that was the only one that ended.
He actually pointed it out.
He did.
Oh, did he? That's too funny. All right. Anybody else want to?
I'd move to adjourn.
Motion by Hagan,
Second.
second by Olson, that we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, say no. Motion carried. We're adjourned at 6:37 p.m. Have a great night.